How often do we pause to ponder the universe, its vast expanse, its intricate workings? Have you ever considered the delicate balance that makes life as we know it possible? The universe, it seems, is exquisitely fine-tuned. But why is that? Is it a product of physical necessity, mere chance, or could it be a design? Dive into the depths of the fine-tuning argument, a fascinating philosophical concept that seeks to answer these questions. The argument, as presented by William Lane Craig, breaks down into three basic components. Firstly, the fine-tuning of the universe could be due to physical necessity, chance, or design. This statement simply lists the possible explanations for the fine-tuning of the universe. The fine-tuning could be a result of unavoidable physical laws, a product of random occurrence, or the result of a deliberate design. Secondly, Craig then states that the fine-tuning is not due to physical necessity or chance. This point refutes the first two possibilities. It argues that the precise conditions of the universe cannot be explained by physical laws alone, nor can they be attributed to mere chance. Finally, the argument concludes that the fine-tuning of the universe must be due to design. By eliminating the other possibilities, the argument concludes that the universe, with its precise conditions for life, must have been deliberately designed. In an interview with Richard Dawkins, the late Steven Weinberg, a renowned physicist who was an atheist, honestly confessed that laws of nature are not due to necessity when he stated, "I don't think one should underestimate the fix we are in, that in the end we will not be able to explain the world, that we will have some set of laws of nature, that we will not be able to derive them on the ground simply of mathematical consistency. Because we can already think of mathematically consistent laws that don't describe the world as we know it, and we will always be left with a question: why are the laws of nature what they are rather than some other laws?" And I don't see any way out of that. Likewise, Luke Barnes, lecturer in astronomy and cosmology at Western Sydney University, in his article, The Fine-Tuning of Nature's Laws, states, "Our deepest understanding of the laws of nature is summarized in a set of equations. We have to plug in some numbers that cannot themselves be calculated but are derived from measurements of some of the most basic features of the physical universe. These numbers appear not to change in different times and places, so they are called the fundamental constants of nature. The results of all our investigations into the fundamental building blocks of matter and energy are summarized in the standard model of particle physics, which is essentially one long, imposing equation. Within this equation, there are 26 constants describing the masses of the 15 fundamental particles along with values needed for calculating the forces between them." Dr. Barnes goes on to illustrate the extraordinary fine-tuning of these constants. He states, "Compared to the range of possible masses that the particles described by the standard model could have, the range that avoids these kinds of complexity-obliterating disasters is extremely small. Imagine a huge chalkboard, with each point on the board representing a possible value for the up and down quark masses. If we wanted to color the parts of the board that support the chemistry that underpins life and have our handiwork visible to the human eye, the chalkboard would have to be about 10 light years, 100 trillion kilometers high. This extreme fine-tuning certainly suggests that it can't possibly be due to chance, but must be due to intelligent design. In trying to hand-wave off this rather straightforward inference to intelligent design, atheists will often claim that we shouldn't be surprised by this fine-tuning of the universe for intelligent life, since intelligent life can only exist in a fine-tuned universe. This objection from atheists is known as the anthropic principle, or the observation selection effect. However, this objection from atheists does not hold water. As Robin Collins pointed out, you don't have to have a universe fine-tuned for the existence of embodied interactive observers like us. You could just as well have a world in which an observer simply fluctuates into existence out of the quantum vacuum and observes its otherwise empty world, has delusory observations of the world around it, illusions. This is called a Boltzmann brain after the German physicist Ludwig Boltzmann. These Boltzmann brains could just fluctuate into existence. They would be the only thing that exists with an illusory universe surrounding them. These types of universes are vastly, vastly more probable than a finely tuned universe like ours. So, if you go with the multiverse hypothesis, you really ought to believe that you are a Boltzmann brain, that you are the only thing that exists, and the world around you, your friends, your family, even your own body, are just all illusions of your mind. That is all that exists. No sane person believes that he is a Boltzmann brain. In that case, that means that this multiverse explanation of the fine-tuning fails. And as Bruce Gordon noted, we find multiverse cosmologists debating the Boltzmann brain problem. In the most reasonable models for a multiverse, it is immeasurably more likely that our consciousness is associated with a brain that has spontaneously fluctuated into existence in the quantum vacuum than it is that we have parents and exist in an orderly universe with a 13.7 billion year history. This is absurd. The multiverse hypothesis is therefore falsified because it renders false what we know to be true about ourselves. Clearly, embracing the multiverse idea entails a nihilistic irrationality that destroys the very possibility of science. In conclusion, the fine-tuning argument argues that the fine-tuning of the universe is either a product of physical necessity, chance, or intelligent design. As we have now seen, the extraordinary fine-tuning of the universe cannot possibly be due to physical necessity or chance. Therefore, the conclusion of the fine-tuning argument is valid, namely, the fine-tuning of the universe must be due to intelligent design.